Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Emerson, the Small Biz Lady, and welcome to Small Biz Chat Live. I'm here tonight to talk to you about how to end small business failure. Now it's time for me to introduce my next guest. He's an old friend of mine, and I'm so excited that he's here with me tonight. His name is Ramon Ray, and he is a serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, global speaker, and event producer. Ramon sold one of the companies he founded, and his third book was a bestseller. And he's now in the process of writing his fourth book called Celebrity CEO, and that's actually what he's here to talk to us about tonight. He is the founder of smallbiztechnology.com and smarthustle.com, which is an amazing, Smart Hustle magazine. And these are great resources for all things small business. So if you want to learn more about him, you can hang out at ramonray.com. But tonight, he's here to share his knowledge on how to boost your sales by becoming a celebrity CEO. Welcome, Ramon Ray, to Small Biz Chat Live.
Hey, Melinda, and thank you for having me. Listen, congratulations for the consistency, the eloquence, the amazingness that you offer to America's small businesses. Well, I guess you could offer them to those in Iraq or Ghana as well, anywhere in the world. But thank you for what you do and for having me here. It is a true honor to join you. As we said, longtime friends and watching your career, what you do. So thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thanks.
Oh, gosh, thank you so much. You know, when I started Small Biz Chat 10 years ago, you were one of our first guests. So I am so grateful to have you back this year, because we're only having big time folks on Small Biz Chat this year, because this is our 10th anniversary. So we count you among them. So now talk to me about this concept of personal branding and becoming a celebrity CEO. And why is that so important?
Absolutely. And I think that, listen, Melinda, there's a lot of people who talk about personal branding in 1,000 different ways. The books behind me, probably the books to your right and left or wherever it is, a lot of people have their version of personal branding. So for me, Melinda, I think many people are comfortable with corporate brands, whether it's McDonald's, Mercedes-Benz, whoever it may be. These are brands that spend, gazillions of dollars to repeat it. 1-800-MATTRES. You bought the glasses. That's yes for saving. Folgers in your cup. It's like ringing in my head. So those are the corporate brands. But I think as small business owners, as I am, I don't have a $1 billion enterprise. I'm blessed, but, not a huge enterprise. So I think that for us small businesses, Melinda, my version of the world, we can only afford what's about us. And that's where the personal branding comes in. Yes, we can have a corporate name. I have Small Biz Technology, Smart Hustle, Small Biz Lady, et cetera. But for me, at least at the end of the day, and for many small businesses, it's about me, how I smile, how I shake my hand, how I look, the videos I put out. So that's the essence of this aspect of personal branding that you're really focusing on. Brand you. I think Fast Company, maybe one of their first magazines they had on their cover, but the brand you. So that's the essence of personal branding and why it's so important to get people attracted to you. I would also say, instead of you chasing them, people chasing you.
Right. But now let me play devil's advocate with you
Please.
Here, because I see all these wannabe small business experts on Instagram every day, and they've been in business for 2 minutes, and now they're going to teach you. Like, they never even have had a business, have not paid payroll, have no idea what it is to, sign for a lien against their house to get an SBA loan to support their business. And now they're going to coach you. So I'm concerned about this concept.
Yes.
Of the celebrity CEO, because I believe it has opened the door to all these posers. I mean, it's scary, some of the stuff you see out here now.
And if I had my handkerchief with me, Melinda, I would be waving it, like they do in certain churches. I'd be waving it and saying, "You go, girl." But so you're right. And I'll be the bigger advocate of that. And I think also, as you know, you can buy this stuff easily. I didn't know until a few years ago. I mean, this game, I'm learning it, but you can buy the big ad billboard in Times Square. I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, you just put some money down and you can have your name and lights. So you're right, Melinda. You are absolutely right that there's people who can become and pretend to be the celebrity CEO. So here's what I mean. And here's how you can kind of smell them out, as it were. I think one, what's the longevity? How long have they been doing this? Have they had a show or anything they're doing for 10 years or more? Hence, Small Biz Chat. So that's one. How long have they been doing it? Two, what's the credibility? Three, who are the peers they're around? The genuine peers who can say, yeah, I know her, I know him. They've been doing it. So I think, and you're right, in this age of when you can buy likes, buy tweets, buy anything you want, it's hard to sniff people out. But as you know, and I knew we've been doing this for a while, listen, those who've been in business for a while, those who have the longevity, as our mutual friend John Jan says, know, like, and trust. I think once you build that in, that's, I think, where you can start to say, you know what, let me now lend my ear to this person because they've been doing it for a while. So, but I like the pushback, and you're exactly right. You can buy anything and pretend to be anybody, but those of us who've been doing it for a while, have proven results, have showcased and built up the trust with our audience. I think that's an important thing. It's hard to measure. That's how you can kind of separate the big girls from the small girls, or whatever it is. That came out wrong, but you know what I mean.
Little girl, that's okay. But listen, so let's talk about how you go about starting to build your brand if you're just starting out. How do you do that?
Yeah, great question. So listen, let's take, I'm going to shout out to my wife who makes wreaths. Let's say you're starting out and you're a wreath company, just starting out wreaths for Christmas or Hanukkah or Thanksgiving, whatever it is, hang on your wall. Do good work. That's one. It sounds simple. Oh, Ramon, really? Yeah, really. There's a lot of people who do sucky work. So just do great work that gets you talked about. That's one. I think two, oftentimes you have to be your own amplification. You have to be your own megaphone. You have to tout yourself. Do your own show. Do your own PR. Do your own publicity. When that radio show that has 2 people listening, when that host interviews you, you tell everybody and get 4 more people listening to your interview. So that's one, self-amplification. I think 3, don't forget about the consistency and not being afraid of small beginnings. As one of our mutual friends says, 1 is greater than 0. So you've got to start somewhere, Melinda. And I think 4th, and I can, as you know, I can go on for hours of this topic, but the power of social media. And listen, that point as well, everybody's tweeting, everybody's posting, but it enables us between hashtags and profiles and direct messaging. And I can't get to Melinda simply because she has a gatekeeper. I bet at 3 a.m., I can DM Melinda on Twitter. She might be up and say, you know what, young man, be on my show if you get what I'm saying. So that's the kind of thing I think to use the power for those just starting off, do great work, social media, and on.
All right. So now, how do you build a fan base? Like once you started to build your brand, okay, but it's different between becoming a brand and having a tribe. So how do you build your tribe using social?
Absolutely. And that is a differentiation process, something that and again, why I talk about this, the book Celebrity CEO, because, and as you've witnessed, and Melinda, what we do is I've seen it in my own business. And so that's why I'm so, I'm hanging my hat and I'm so passionate about it. So you have your personal branding. You got that locked in your wreath business, let's say, going back to that wreath business. And you got some people following you, you got some clicks and likes and et cetera. Now your fan base. This is really a mental shift of where you're not trying to be first, make sales. You just want people to wink at you. You just want people to follow you online. You just want people to reshare a nice video you did. That's where it's a mindset. I'm no longer trying to, sell a chapstick stick. I just want to have a contest. Who can put chapstick on the fastest, if that makes sense? That's where you're doing tribe building stuff, where you're enabling the community that's already there. You're, as Seth Godin kind of talks about, you're just enhancing them. You're giving them the tool, the platform to start talking about things that you're doing. And that's where it gets interesting, because as the tribe is already there and you're just bringing them together, they're going to be talking about who? Ramon, Melinda, Diana, Alex. That's really where it becomes to be magic.
Now, how does the content play into building the brand and building the tribe? What role does content have in that?
Wow, Melinda, content is, I think, everything. And again, to those who are listening and saying, oh, Ramon, I'm 75 years old. You didn't mention sales, young man. Sales is important. Gotcha. Use the yellow pages, whatever you want. But here's how I think the role of content. Everybody is doing one of 2 things online. They're either searching for information. My baby's sick. I want to go to the amusement park. When is the Super Bowl happening in the year 2020? Whatever. They're asking a question. Or they want to share. I mean, come on. Everybody scrolls those silly videos of the cat jumping or the dog barking and whatever it is. I don't do that, Melinda. Sorry, I'm only business. But the other millions of humans, they do that stuff. So people are doing those 1 or 2 things. Looking for information or sharing with each other. And that's where it starts, Melinda. What content can you produce in the realm that you're doing? You're a pipe fitter, a dry cleaner, a lawyer, an accountant, a wreath maker, whatever you're doing. What content can you start to generate now that people want to share and use. How to do that? A, as one of the guests said before, your phone, you can do that yourself. 2, be open to ideas, Melinda. Many times people walk with their eyes closed and don't talk. When I wake up in the morning, I think of 3 things that I can talk about because that's just me. So I think having a creative mind, and don't forget other people's ideas. People listening to this show, our guest tonight, we're talking about ideas. Don't steal them now, because Melinda will go to some chapter in her book and you may get a cease and desist letter. But you can, share them if you get what I mean. Does that make sense, Melinda?
You did. Now let's wrap this up before we go to commercial now. What is the best business advice you've ever been given?
Best bit of advice is be yourself and stop trying to be somebody else.
Good advice. Good advice. Listen, Ramon just gave us some great tips. When we come back, we're going to talk about leveraging content via video. So I'm Melinda Emerson, the Small Biz Lady. This is Small Biz Chat Live, and we will be right back. Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Emerson, and I am with Ramon Ray, and we are on Small Biz Chat Live. Now, we've been talking about how to boost your sales by becoming a celebrity CEO, and I use the air quotes for that. But but listen, Ramon's going to talk to us now about how you can leverage video to build your celebrity brand. So, Ramon, let's talk about it. What's the deal with video?
Yeah, and air quotes is good at me, celebrity CEO, because again, we're not talking about being, the Tesla guy or Bezos. Absolutely. We're talking about small people. But listen, Melinda, here's the power of video. Video humanizes your brand. Video personalizes your brand. Video personifies you. And as we said kind of earlier in the show, listen, corporate brands are good for small businesses, but at the end of the day, it's about me and you, how I shake my hand. So video is one of the most powerful things that you can put out there. People can say, let me take notice. Let me see what they're doing. It's engaging, interactive, and everybody loves video.
All right. So then what types of video are the right kind to use when you're trying to establish a brand?
Absolutely. There's 3 kinds of videos that I like quite a bit. One is the standard kind of sizzle video, the video where your hair, well, not mine, but one's hair is flowing in the wind and, it's the music is set in and it's really cool and nice. That's one video. 2, the video that I do quite a bit most often is the educational types of videos. So these are the videos where you're dispensing knowledge to your community and user base, kind of like we're doing today. And then 3, 10%, Melinda, give or take, have some fun. You see what I do online. I talk about me going to the barber shop or to the gym. People want to see a bit that you're human, a bit of your personal life. So if you can do those 3 things well on some sort of consistent basis, you'll be far ahead in leveraging the power of video to grow your brand and build a community.
All right. So what is the right time frame for a video? Now, I'm a former television producer, so I'm big on 2 minutes or less. But do you have a rule of thumb when it comes to video?
Yeah, I mean, shorter definitely is best. And I think it goes to the platform. What I'm doing more and more, Melinda, is Instagram. I believe it's 60 seconds, give or take. So I think if you can get something in 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and be consistent on that platform, you're good. But definitely, Melinda, I'm with you. Shorter is better. Having said that, let's say there's some serious medical condition or problem or whatever in your industry, and it needs to be 2 hours. Listen, people will listen to it if it's well-produced and informative. But if I was speaking to, we don't know everybody out there listening on the show, shorter is better than longer, not knowing all the details.
Sure. All right. Now, should they produce videos from their iPhone, the home studio, a formal studio? What is the best way? Running and gunning? Tell me what's the best way to do video?
I love it. Here's a few tips. I think one, listen, right here, I have a webcam that I do a lot of video, and I have what I think is I have to get rid of this kind of white space here, but I invested in this commission painting here for this purpose, so I can have a better background. So that's one. Nice webcam HD. 2, your modern phone. Now, if you have a phone in 2002 or 1921, don't use it. But your average modern phone is good enough. And a quick tip, Melinda, for those watching, don't look directly at the phone like this. Only idiots do that. Instead, hold the phone to the side. Hey, my name is Ramon Ray. I'm on Small Business Chat with Melinda Emerson. Hold it here, keep turning it around, and people call me Mr. Selfie Stick. That's how to do video that looks legit. That kind of spin right there, while you're doing video, you look legit.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna take that. I love it. Appreciate that. So listen, Ramon, that was awesome. Thank you so much for giving us that helpful advice on how to become a big deal online. And thank you all for joining us for Small Biz Chat Live. The mission of Small Biz Chat is to end small business failure. I'm Melinda Emerson, the Small Biz Lady, and we are over and out. I'll see you all next week.